Hey, this is my second video today because I'm playing catch up, so let's get started with the 24th day of my ARTOBER challenge. I explain how this works in my earlier videos, which you can find linked below and in my ARTOBER 2020 playlist, but essentially I'm randomizing a bunch of prompt lists and mashing them together to see what I can come up with. Today I spun the wheel and it landed on the Witchtober prompt list. I randomized the day number and got day 7, which is the prompt cat, which is one of my favorite animals to draw, next to dogs and dragons. I then flipped a coin and got heads for set A, and the random number I got was 10, which is basically the palette next to the one from yesterday's. And yeah, it's a palette alright. I started right away sketching a bunch of cats to refamiliarize myself with their anatomy since I haven't drawn them in a while. It was a lot of fun, but I sort of got lost in doodling the cats for a little bit before remembering I actually needed to come up with an idea to ink and color. My initial plan was to draw a cat head with two front paws poking out from underneath a comically huge witch's hat, and I was actually going to go with that, but then something happened. As I was drawing the heads-on perspective of the cat's head, I drew the ears upright. I then remembered I wanted it peeking out of a hat, which would have, smooshed the ears flat, so I started sketching the flattened ears. I was about to erase the upright ears when I paused and looked at the sketch that I had developed. The cat with 4 ears and a straightforward stare looked really cool and really witchy to me, so I decided that's where I was going to go instead and grabbed my smaller watercolor journal and set to work. I also added horns into the final sketch, but I'm not sure if that was too much or not. It kind of makes it look more like a goat than a cat, except that, the eyes are vertical and not horizontal like a goat's, and the ears are a different shape than a goat's. I added a collar with a cat tag for good measure though, and hoped for the best. I used a thin, long brush pen to ink the piece, that way the line thickness would vary organically and look a bit more like fur. My only problem with using this pen though is that it wasn't totally dry when I began erasing the sketch underneath. It had me worried that the water from the brush pens was going to make the black ink smear. I guess with this prompt I could have made it work to my benefit, but I didn't really want it to happen. Thankfully it didn't really smudge, so there's that. What I'm noticing with these brush pens is that some of them work better with water than others. The coffee color seems to have more ink or something because it has an easier time mixing with water and spreading, whereas the orangey pinky color wouldn't really spread once I put the color down, no matter how much water I tried to blend it with before or after. It worked out at least a little bit in my favor because I could do some orange markings in the fur, so I guess I'm not that mad at it. I still haven't come up with a name though. It should have some sort of mystical name for the type of creature. Or should I name it something comically harmless like Floofster? Should it be named as a new breed or species of cat, or have a fantasy name, or do I name it like any other cat that I've owned? I'm sort of partial to Henry. Henry the Hex Kitty. He likes tummy rubs and scratches under his horns. Wonderful. Yes, I love him. I left his collar tag blank because I didn't know what to put initially, but now I'll write in Henry and put in a little pentacle there too for protection. He keeps his owner safe and hexes those who mean harm. Who needs a guard dog anyway? That's it for day 24 of my ARTOBER challenge. I like how this creature design came out, and I'm going to develop it further as a proper character later on. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed this, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you all again tomorrow. Bye bye!